Hi guys, welcome to the next video. You are in the middle of a series. The series is about fighting the beast within. Now by now, and I don't know how many videos there are, they're all in a playlist, okay? If you're going to watch any of the videos and you have not seen any of them and you're just finding this video and you know that there are many in front of it, which there are, because I'm telling you, there are many videos in front of this one. There are many videos in front of this one, so what I would like for you to do is go to the playlist and find the videos entitled Fighting the Beast Within, and you'll need to start at the first one. The reason that you do is because it provides a foundation for you to build upon. Now, why am I big on this? Okay, why do I encourage you to do that? Well, it's because that's what the Lord does. Okay, when the Lord's business is about building a kingdom, and He's going to use rocks and stones or bread or truth to build it, then in order to build it and to build it for an everlasting, eternal purpose, then wouldn't you want to assure that there is no defilement within what you are creating, within you, so that when the Lord comes to live in you, He sees you as pure? Is that not what our heart's desire is? Of course it is. So what that means is that you're going to have to be conscious and deliberate into what you are building in your foundation. Because if you build a foundation that begins to become uneven, it will topple down. The Lord is looking for a straight path, a flat, not leavened, foundation. Now, there is so much going on right now. I just want to talk with you for a minute, because I know that those of you that are going to watch this video are those of you who are watching many of the other things that are going on in the world and on other channels. All right? This is exactly as I think it should be. It is how all of us start out. When we are hungry for the truth, we will fill ourselves with much. What I'm asking of you and encouraging you is to be careful what you put in. Because what you don't want to happen is for the Lord to tear down and rebuild. Because your progress in the kingdom is extremely important. If you are diligent, you must also be discerning. I'm not trying to imply, okay, that I think that anybody's person or temple is defiled. That's not what I'm saying. I'm exhorting you to watch that in which you watch for your own sake. Be diligent, but discerning. Okay? That's all I'm encouraging you to do. There's a lot of information out there. If you will remember that the Lord has already showed us there's a wide gate and a narrow gate. if you're going to put into you things that seem to be of lot of opinion, that everybody has jumped in on, that's a wide gate. Now that doesn't mean that the Lord is not working in the bride to make us all unified and that is beginning to look bigger. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the entrance into the gate, the entrance into the house of God. You need to stand guard at the gate so that you don't let anything come in that's going to confuse or tear down what has already been erected. On guard. A watchman watches at all directions, okay? Not just for himself, because that would be selfish. What you're doing in the work of the kingdom is you are taking a stand or a position of responsibility where you are at the border. Not to allow anything to come in that will taint the understanding of everyone in Mount Zion. This is extremely important, and it's not being discussed right now. That is why the Lord is putting it upon my heart to bring it to you, because many of you do not yet understand that you have a lot that connects with other people's lots. You must be careful that on your border you discern the difference between what really looks good and what is truth. Because when you bring it in your lot affects other lots. If you go to the story of Abraham and Lot, you will see this in the Spirit. Abraham let Lot choose where he wanted to dwell. And what did Lot choose? The one that looked really good. It was pleasing to him. It's what he wanted to hear, wanted to see, wanted to desire, wanted to live with. But what it did was it backed up to Sodom. And Sodom at his border cost him the ability to keep the borders from outside influence meant to harm. When the angels came to Sodom and Lot was sitting at the gate. Lot was sitting at the gate. What do you think he was doing there? Guarding the entrance. He saw the two angels, they were men, come into the city. The desire of those inside the city was to devour the flesh of these two men. Lot took these two men who were going to sleep out in the open, unprotected. Lot said, "No, you're not. You're coming to my house." Lot saw the danger. He guarded and protected them. And even then, they tried to break through the means of safety. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. This is for your benefit, that you heed this warning. I am not trying to say that I see this happening. This is something that the Lord is wanting you to understand, to prevent error within the truth. There will be no error in Mount Zion There is no tree of which you eat from that causes defilement within Mount Zion. The only tree that is there is the tree of life. Okay? What happens when you put your lot against something that is going to cause harm, okay, that you must watch at? You will become like Lot, and you will have to defend it. Lot defended it. But what happened with Lot is that when the destruction upon the city came, and it will, Lot had to run and flee from the city. But he lost his wife. She turned into a pillar of salt. Disbelief, looking back, caused her no more progress. She stuck right in that position. You don't want that. Lot's wife is just an extension of Lot. They're together. He moved on without her. And what ended up happening when Lot moved on without her, he had no ability to father or produce any more offspring. She, the part of him that could bring more for him, became dead. And this is why we get Lot's two daughters. And that moves from there. The story has to continue because of consequence. If you back all of that up and look at the decision that Lot made, then you can forego those circumstances and those consequences in your own life. And that's what I'm trying to get you to focus on. Abraham let Lot choose. The Father will let you choose, but my dear, do not choose what just looks good. Choose where you will find growth. The ability to move in freedom. The boundaries of the lot that Abraham had far outweighed, according to the Lord, Lot's choice. So don't be Lot. And that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to learn from what's already happened. We learn from it so that we don't fall into the same trap. You're going to choose what you watch. You're going to choose where you put your time. You're going to invest in something. You're either investing for your future that is kingdom related, or you are investing in the world, which gives you no progress. Be careful that you don't allow yourself to choose more of the world and less instruction, and then have to wonder why you're not moving. If you discern now, as you're feeling yourself, where you should be working to feel yourself, put that there. If you're noticing that you are missing some understanding, ask yourself, what fear have I put inside of me lately? Because that fear will take over the place in which that growth should have been. That can't happen. All right? as you're getting full in your foundation, you want to make sure that what you're putting in is causing a layer in which you will stand upon. You don't want these layers to become anything other than sturdy and stable because you're standing on it. If you want to stand on something immovable, then watch what you put into it. I know that we're all searching. I know that we're all looking. I know that we're all seeking. It's what the Spirit does. What I'm asking you to do is be careful as a watcher, as a watchman upon the wall. You're not just watching where you are, but you're watching the edges and the borders of where you are because it borders someone else's. You have to not just think about yourself, but love will require you to think about everyone. This is why you might not benefit from something, but you know somebody else will. Well, you still do it. The more fortification that the building or the tower in the lots around you have, the better off you are. I know that from my own personal experience in the people that are physically around me, the Lord has shown me how extremely important it is that their foundations and their walls be secure because they're bordering mine. You're building an everlasting place that you will live in. There's no do-over. Either you choose to put in the things that are going to cause it to have the right foundation and it's going to stand. Or you're going to get those winds that blow against it and it might topple over. You might have to start over. If that's happening, don't get discouraged. I receive emails from you guys, and I understand that a lot of you get frustrated sometimes because you feel like that you've made progress, and then all of a sudden you feel like you've gone backwards. Well, that's just God undoing what you just did to rebuild it. Why? Because He knows what the foundational layers should look like. Remember, as you're going up those steps to come out of where you've been, the trek is hard. But if you don't understand something in its entirety, you're not going to just leave there what your mistake was. God's going to unravel it. You ever had a project in dealing with yarn, and you are in the process of making a blanket, and you're about 3/4 of the way through, and it looks beautiful, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to look so gorgeous when I get through. Well, all of a sudden, you begin to make some stitches, and you begin to see that that doesn't fit in with the rest of your yarn work of the whole piece. Do you leave it there? Do you keep going? Do you rationalize and say, oh, maybe the person won't look at that spot. Maybe they'll see the other. Really? Well, you might justify that and want to keep going, but God says, oh, no. He unravels it and He'll say, start again. Don't get discouraged. It's for your benefit that you're doing that. The unraveling is your security. What that means is that somewhere in that is a little untruth you need to work through. When you go back and you work it again, your beautiful handiwork is going at the next time might look exactly as like it's fitting in with the rest of it, and you can move on, progression. But if the Lord is unraveling something for you at the moment, don't get discouraged and don't give up. And don't look at it as failure. See, it's what your eyes view that matters, guys. You can look at it as failure, but God's not looking at it as failure. God is looking out for you because He's looking out for everyone. If you want to be counted whole into the group, then you can't bring a mistake and expect God to bless you in wholeness with the rest. At some place in your work of your foundation, you might become aware that you are beginning to get tipsy or lopsided, uneven. Work on removing those layers, asking yourself, where did I go wrong? Ask the Lord to help reveal to you where and what did you do just then that has kept you from your progress. It's a difficult thing to do. It takes wisdom. It takes strength and courage. It takes the ability to understand that you're not a failure. That what you're doing is allowing God to work in you in a remarkable way to become the vessel that He wants you to be. Don't you want the Master's hand that's shaping you to take out any lumps out of you that are unnecessarily there? Of course you do. Because when you get through, don't you want to be whole? Don't you want to have a complete vessel that has no cracks in it so that when you pour the water in, it's not going to leak? Of course you do. You want wholeness. You want holiness. The process that works in allowing that to happen is that sometimes there are going to be cracks. That's okay. Don't try to patch them up. Undo it and start again. I know this because the Lord did this with me. Sometimes we can get excited and we can start moving quickly. And we're excited about our progress. You got to stop and take a look at what you've done. And is it acceptable and pleasing to the Lord? Well, that's got to be important to you. It's got to be more important to you than what you just accomplished, because that's not what it's about. This is not about what you have accomplished. This is God working His hands in you. If I take a ball of clay and I start molding it with my hands, that clay is not going to speak out to me and say, you just made a mistake. I create it the way I want to make it as its creator. It's the same with you and your creator. A masterpiece the portrait that gets finished is done through the hands of the one who's doing it. When the job is complete, whatever the masterpiece is what it was meant to be. That's what is beautiful, because the Creator has made you unique. Then let Him work in you. Be careful about what you put in. Remember, it's not just about you. In His love for you and how He's working on you, okay, you're a part to another piece of a puzzle. He's going to make sure that your piece is authentic and truth when He places you in the line of others. And you are going to want to be assured that when you fit in to the line of others, that you're also fitting in with others who are also being made and created with that same type of mentality and care by the Creator. That is why this process works. It is the process by which you will go through. Don't ask questions. Just be obedient. The Lord will fill you back again, and you will have an understanding. You won't have the complete understanding if you choose to keep the mistake there. You won't grow. You won't grow from there. You will become the stumbling block. And that that part that's a mistake will become hardened. And it becomes callous. It becomes a sore for you. It was never meant to be there. It's a warning. It's an indication. It is a sign to go back. Let the Master heal you. It does take a lot of courage. It does take a lot of courage, because it's at these moments in your decision when the Lord is revealing your heart. If you have pride, you will say to the Lord, I'm not going to do that. I kind of like what I've accomplished, and it will be about you. But that's not what Mount Zion is. Remember, Mount Zion is there to glorify not you, but the Lord. And it's His standards you should care about. His standards. The standard is the banner flag. The banner flag is your mouth. It contains the truth or the message. If you care more about what's coming out of your mouth that you know might be error, versus changing to God's standards and using His words that come from your mouth, if you care about the other more than you do about God's, you will become a stumbling block. You will not grow. And that might be an indication that you still have some work to do. That's what the Lord is revealing right now as He's building us all up through this process of becoming complete. He will reveal in you where the cracks are. Take it. It's the instruction. It is the discipline. It is the chastising. But guys, it's love. If you see God as love, then you will accept His love in this way. You will hold your arms out and your hands out in submission to Him. It won't be about you. It will be about Him. And that's what He's wanting to see. And so I am encouraging you that if you have come to that place, then allow the Lord to do His work in you and do it without complaint. See, the Israelites, they complained when the Lord wanted them to progress. And what did they do? But they complained and they quarreled and they said, you know what? Look at what we had back there. I think I want to go back to that. Because now I don't like this new restriction. Well, the restriction was necessary to get them to the promised land. If you understand your Bible, which I know many of you do, then you know that those children of Israel did not enter the promised land. Only those who were 20 or younger. Age 20 and younger went into the promised land. And Joshua and his family. Joshua and Caleb. Moses died before that. Aaron didn't go. Aaron's mistake was the golden calf. While he was waiting on the Lord, while he was waiting on instruction, Aaron turned and he looked toward a little god of mammon, of money, of gain, while he was waiting. He took a slight detour that brought about much hurt for the people. His desire brought about a stumbling block that those children of Israel almost never got over. They began worshiping the golden calf as if it was their God. Who was to blame but Aaron. The sway of the people was Aaron's downfall. He wanted to give them what they wanted without waiting. He was rebuked, but he also did not enter. Him and his sons became priests. Aaron's was part of the Levitical priesthood. The blessing for Aaron came in what he left behind, his prodigy. There's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot that we can turn our focus on. There's a lot of things that are right now in the world that seem to be really quiet. There are a lot of things that are going on that we're not being privy to. Because right now, if you would look into our nation, you would find that the message that they are sending is none other than peace. You and I know in the spirit that that is false. There is a war. There is a battle that is going on. You and I, in the spirit, we're not seeing these world events come and not know of them. We're being prepared and warned. The lost have no idea what's ahead. Their understanding of what is coming is going to come through me. And this is why the preparation process has a process. This is why it works. It's God's choosing. It's His will of progress and not your own. That's what I'm asking you to do today. I'm asking you to accept His will in your life and stop fighting for your own. If you want to get into the army and you want to transfer yourself from where you are in dissension or where you might be in pride that is keeping you from advancing, it is worth it. If you heed the Lord. What you gain, you can't see. But it will be immeasurably important when you get to the other side where you get to your mission. Because it's what you've learned in this stages of your training that will cause you to be able to ascertain and discern much more easily in the spirit. This helps you with your gift and your talent and the ability that the Lord gave you. This training is especially important. You do not want to lose your place in the army in which God has destined you for. Just watch your choices, and they can creep up on you so little sometimes. And the little thing can become leaven. You should know how to battle it by now. You should know to recognize it and put your foot upon it, squash it down. It's those storms that are coming against you. You need to be able to sleep in your boat. You need to be able to say, just as Jesus did, peace, be still. You are conquering that water to walk upon it. Conquering the storm. Is that not your goal? That's your desire in the kingdom. To put it all up under your feet. You're letting go of that baby that is your flesh and holding on to birthing that baby, the beautiful baby of love that is going to go out into the world to get more into the kingdom. Growth into the kingdom. That's what this is about. Don't hinder it for you, because then you hinder it for others. Your advancement is crucial in the kingdom. The Lord right now is measuring, and He's seeing the lack, and He's asking those of us to encourage you to keep going, moving you forward from the places that have become hard for you. I know it gets weary, and I know it gets lonely. There are going to be moments when you feel like you have no more strength left. And there are going to be moments when you fall. But don't let it defeat you. Cast aside that thing that is tempting you. Put it under your foot and look up. Grab the next part of what's in front of you. Keep moving. Just think of me as the person who's behind you in the line, and I'm seeing you in front of me, and I want to get past where you are. So what am I doing? I'm taking my hand up, and I'm reaching, and I'm bolstering you. I'm taking you, and I'm giving you a lift, a push to keep going. And you're reaching, and before long, your footing changes above me. And I move with you. When I move, I'm pulling the one under me up, too. We are in a line. This is very, very difficult to understand, I know. But when you think about it in this way, that we are all trying to come up a huge net, a snare, and we want to get to that top. The view is up there. I hope I've encouraged you today. I'm coming back with more videos, because what the Lord is revealing to me and what He is showing me, I woke up this morning, the Lord was talking to me about all kind of things last night. I woke up, I said, Lord, all of these things that you've been talking to me in the last few days, I could literally write a small book. I'm not kidding. I mean, this is taking focus, courage, skill, and it's July 2nd, and I haven't heard from any of you about gifts. If you get to this place in the video, you don't cut me off before now, and you get to this place about gifts, please message me. Tell me what yours are. You should be looking ahead for July. July is going to be a big month. It's the number 7 month. Okay. See you in the next video.